This video was made possible by my patrons over at Patreon. Thank you for your support.
Hey folks, Teddy here. So I just want to give you guys a quick life update on what's been going on. So as you guys know, the past 2 months, or almost 3 months because it's October, starting in August, I hit the ground really hard. Like, you know, when you watch someone get knocked out in a movie and they hit the ground, they hit the ground and then
they fall, then they do that double bounce in the dirt, and the dirt come up. Freedom.
yeah. But things are starting to look up. So from August, you know, some bad things happen. If you follow my Patreon or you pledge to my Patreon, you guys know what's going on. So I'm in a financial bind and things like that. And then September rolls around, and you know, I'm looking for you know, a day job and filling out job applications, things like that. And basically, my 2011 MacBook Pro just was like, it doesn't work anymore. I think the graphics card went bad, and I just did not. I was on my, well, I'm still on my last few $100 until this money comes in. But anyways, basically I had no money to basically get my laptop fixed, and I take it to the Apple Store, and basically they say it's obsolete and they don't know if they can fix it. And I'm just like, oh gosh, you know, hit me in the heart, you know. So I talked to some of my friends, and some of these friends of mine, they basically donate money to me to help me get a new laptop, and I got enough money to where I was able to get a former top of the line 2016 2.9 gigahertz i7 processor MacBook Pro. Bought it outright. Like, my last 2 laptops, because you know, Apple is expensive, and my family, we don't have a, you know, we ain't making that kind of money. So, you know, my past 2 Macs were just put on a credit card, and I paid it off within 2 years. So this is my first laptop where I don't have to worry about, you know, where I'm going to get the money to pay it off, you know. So so I got a new MacBook Pro thanks to some of my friends in the furry fandom. So thank you guys, I really appreciate it. I really can't say thank you enough. And what else is going on? So I think in October, early October rolls around, I have a gig with Rufus Roundtree, all right? I have a gig with Rufus Roundtree in Washington, D.C., and we're playing some kind of gala, some ball event, and basically in the morning, one of my family friends who runs a drum shop calls me. He's like, hey, what's your schedule looking like for the week? And I'm just like, it's mostly open. I have a gig tonight, but it's mostly open. He's like, well, I have this artist that needs a drummer. Basically, his drummer called me and saying, like, telling me that he's coming home because he has some health issues and he can't do the tour anymore. Are you familiar with, you know, any Elton John or rockabilly stuff? And I'm just like, you know, I grew up listening to Elton John. Like, my first exposure to Elton John was Lion King, but, you know, and I know Rocket Man and things like that, but I don't know Elton John music like that. But, you know, my friend explains the situation of what happened to the drummer, and I'm just like, oh, like that's pretty bad. So he puts me in touch with the drummer of that tour, and the drummer calls me, and he sounds really out of it, sounds really, you know, down, and you know, of course, I could hear the pain in his voice. It was a hard call. It was a hard phone call, but he was still a very pleasant guy, and I know he's a wonderful person. I mean, my friend has nothing but good things to say about him, and I do end up meeting his family later down the line. But he asked me if I could do the gig. I'm like, yeah, I'll take the gig. And then we basically negotiate how much the gig is willing to pay me. So we negotiate, we make some agreements, and then I get in touch with the artist, Josh Christina. Josh Christina calls me, and he's just like, yeah, I just need your email address and your personal information so I can book your plane to Cleveland. So he gets me my plane tickets, and then basically he sends me the music, which is mostly originals. So I had like 14 plus hours to learn 21 plus songs. So I do my gig with Rufus in DC. I get back home from DC around midnight, and then I start packing and charting at the same time, because it's like it's possible to learn music without charting it out, but that's a lot of stress. You want to be able to basically take notes on every song that you can, so you don't have to over compute yourself, you know. So I try to chart out as many songs as I can. I could only chart out like maybe like 5 songs, but I ended up once I got to my flight from BWI to Cleveland, from Cleveland to Kentucky, it was like another 5 hours. So I was pretty much charting and getting to know everybody in the band. So I was we do our first show in Kentucky, and it goes very well. And we ended up playing like some kind of ham festival. It was really cool. And the flavors there, the food was incredible. I won't go too into detail about the tour. All I know is that it went really, really well. They liked me, and I pretty much got the gig. So all the future dates, excluding some of the ones that are coming up in November, because I'm going to be in the UK with Foxes and Peppers, from October to December and some of January and going into February, I'll have gigs with Josh Christina. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to be playing at the Kennedy Center with Josh Christina on Thanksgiving as well. So that's going to be a very interesting and fun event that I'm looking forward to. What else? I'm also recording a studio session in Nashville with Josh Christina. So like, he's pretty much keeping me busy. And the fact that I have consistent work now, it's really, really good, because I was freaking out on like how I'm going to pay my bills from month to month to month. Now that I have enough gigs, I can be like, all right, so one gig can pay all my bills, you know. So shout out to Josh Christina. Also, if you want to check out Josh Christina, go ahead and check out his music on all streaming platforms. He's on iTunes, Spotify. I said iTunes, I meant Apple Music. I'm old now. So go ahead and check his stuff out. It's mostly like soul, piano rock, really, really good stuff. What else is going on? One more thing. So basically, my uncle decided to sell his house. This house is a pretty big part of my family, so it was very bittersweet to see it go, because I grew up in that house, and my uncle used to be a DJ, so all his entire light rig and this sound system was there. He used to work for Baltimore Stage Lighting, so sometimes we would bring the lights from his job to his house to work on, and I will always look forward to going to that house to see the lights and stuff. Like, he's the reason why I know so much about light rigs. Like, if I wasn't a musician, I would be a light designer. So, you know, my uncle's also a musician, I come to find out, in my late teens. And when the day before we came to his house, my mom called me, was like, hey, your Uncle Jay wants to talk to you. So I talked to my Uncle Jay. He's like, hey, superstar. I'm just like, stop. So because he's very proud of what I do. I'm just like, man, I'm not even near what I want to do in my life, but you know, the fact that he supports me means the world to me. So he was just like, hey, when can you stop by and pick up the Fender Rhodes. I'm just like, your Rhodes? You want me to pick up your Rhodes? For those who aren't familiar with what a Fender Rhodes is, you've probably heard one, you just never knew what it was. Fender Rhodes is an electric piano. They were built from like the late 60s to like the 80s. They had different versions, and I have one with me from 1977. It needs to be repaired. It needs the legs, and it needs the sustain pedal, and that's going to cost me around between $250 to $500. And I'm just glad I have it in my house. It was a little it's a little character to get into my house, but I got it in one piece. But I got a piece of history in my house now, and I'm gonna try to take care of it and restore it as soon as I can. But right now, the way things are looking financially, I have to build up to that. I can't do it right now. But if you guys want to, send some money my way to get this repaired or get it restored, like, it doesn't have to be the amount. It can be like $2, or it can be like $5, $10, $20. It can be whatever. Just don't send any change, please. But yeah, he let me basically take care of it, but that's his way of telling me I'm going to pass this on to you. And I'm very glad to have this piece of history from my uncle. Me and my uncle are very close. I think that's about it. I got some gigs with Rufus Roundtree coming up. Playing the Light City Festival, and I'm playing some other events. But most of my gigs are going to be with John Christina, unless Rufus lets me know, like, hey, I got this gig coming up, can you do it? Then I will have to check my Gmail calendar and all that fun stuff. Also, I'm going to probably work on building a website. I'm just thinking out loud. I need a website. So I'll probably, I don't know how much Squarespace costs, but if you guys know anyone that knows how to make a website, please send them my way. I definitely need to get a website built so people can see my dates and things like that. It's starting to get like that now. Anyways, that's my life update. It seems like everything is on the up and up, and I'm really happy about it. Because life is like sometimes life is like a roller coaster. Even though I hate roller coasters, life is like a roller coaster. It has its ups and downs. It has its loop-de-loops and corkscrews and hard rights and hard left turns, brakes and turbo strips and things like that. So yeah, man, it's just, you gotta deal with it. You're on a ride. You're riding a roller coaster. That's called life. So sometimes you just gotta enjoy the ride, even though you're going through a down. And that down is not fun. But yeah, for all those who've been supporting me so far, especially you guys on Patreon, thank you so much. I don't know if I will be able to do what I do without you guys. So please keep your support. Keep supporting me, and eventually I want to get to the point where I can pass it forward or pay it forward like you guys have done for me. Also, some friends of mine, I talked about some friends of mine. I got two friends. There's Eludai, who recently dropped his MacBook Pro. It still works, but the screen started to crack. So it's going to cost him a couple $100 to get repaired. Also, I have another friend of mine who's a vocalist. His name is Omnam, and he had a little heart condition. Well, it's not little, but it's pretty serious. And he has a GoFundMe. If you can pledge to the GoFundMe, and tell him that you got the word through me. That would mean a lot, because his medical bills are at like almost $10,000. So if you can either help Eludai or Omnam, I'll provide the links below on all that information on how to basically support my two friends. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. And we'll talk soon. If you're still around, you're the MVP for watching all of this. I should have just typed it all up, but I didn't feel like typing anything. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare for the studio session and wash clothes, and then yeah, be ready with life. All right, thank you guys for watching this video. We'll talk soon. Peace.
You're listening to Oncle Jazz.